and a sudden stop.
This is weird.
It is. This is it's been 4 or 5 months. No,
Weeks, maybe.
weeks. No, it's 2 months before the Deer Classic.
Yeah, this is number 37. So it was probably 30, 28, something like that.
So yeah, a
I
couple
think we
months
had
ago.
Casey.
Oh,
I think Casey was
that
the
was
last
right.
one.
Yeah. Casey was the last one in studio. Then we've been. I guess you've done a couple with you did one with Shroppy, Christian, and then Dylan.
Yep.
And Mitch.
Yes.
So it's good to be home. Some normalcy.
I bet.
So yeah, pretty hectic around here. Now it's kind of calming down. Turkey season, we've talked about that a couple times the last few podcasts, and we're rolling into third season. I think
Started today.
Starts today, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's windy and crappy out, and the birds are out and doing their thing. You have a third season tag, or are you going fourth season?
Fourth. You have to go fourth.
Oh yeah, you had a bow.
I did a bow tag.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I've not gone yet myself. I've gone twice with Jason. You've gone with the girls, and you've killed a couple, and so
yeah, I think I only hunted once myself.
here and then
Yeah,
Nebraska 3
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've got to at least go out and I don't know. I'm ready to grab my gun and run. So
Yeah.
see.
I could have probably have went a couple times, but it hasn't been that great. I haven't had a bunch of birds on camera. I'm like, you know what? I'll just wait, grab a combo tag. If I want a bow hunt, I can.
The weather's been crappy too, so
Right.
it's not ideal weather when it's windy and guys' blinds are flying away. And
Yeah, I know I lost one. I don't know where it's at. Is that the one I shot my bird out of is not in the back of a trail cam picture anymore. So
it's mangled in pieces. Good
Well,
thing you got like 4 of them.
well, that one already had broken once, and I fixed it. So hopefully it's not too bad. If it is, it is. It's hour and 20 minutes away from my house. I wasn't going to drive down there and try to rip it down before the wind got to it.
Yep, you got other blinds,
Right.
Arts blind. But yeah, so today we had one of our team members, Austin, up in Wisconsin, shoot an absolute magnum turkey. He was passing turkeys all morning, and this guy, he's a very different individual. Like, he's a great dude, but he hunts turkeys like most of us hunt deer.
Yeah.
And we like to give him shit for it all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Right.
He's talking about, and he does it. He passed 5 or 6 turkeys this morning, and the 7th one was the one he's trying to kill. It had 4 beards. And
Yeah. He passed, like he had 20 shots inside 25 yards of.
he sat till like
toms
1 o'clock.
in sleet,
for a
in
turkey.
rain. And the snaps we were getting just blowing in through the side. And I'm like, I wouldn't even do that for a deer.
And he had a cameraman too,
Yep.
which was that guy. Props to him.
Yep.
I mean, that guy put in the effort. So whoever he is, cheers. Yeah, Austin shot, I think, what do you say, like 36 inches?
Over 36 inches of beards.
Yeah, they're all long. And he had trail cam pictures of this deer. It sounds like a deer.
Right.
Of this turkey. And yeah, the guy shoots some large turkeys. I think his population up there is doing pretty good.
Yep.
So
It's weird. And I just think, I don't think they have the bobcats that we do. And I know a lot of it has to do with nesting predators, but I 100% correlation in the bobcat numbers in southern Iowa going up and the turkey population going down.
The bobcats. There's definitely something to be said about that, but there's also just the nesting in general is going down too. So
Right. Yeah.
there's studies out there. I mean, not to dive into those, but there's spots in Iowa that are still really good. Like down south, you still have a lot of turkeys.
Yeah, there's times
maybe
when
not
it's-
near as many as you had.
Right. It's spread. They spread out this time of year.
Yep.
I mean, I had trail cam pictures in like January of, I think, 17 longbeards in a group on my uncle's farm. I mean, that's a lot of birds.
Yeah.
2-year-olds and on up. They had
And I had
7, 8 inch.
I had
beards
5
plus.
long beards on mine this winter when I had the Boss Buck feeder out, and only one has been back since with a hen, which she was out there today. So, yeah, when they group up like that, it's nice to see how many are in your area.
Yeah, it's just like inventory when you feed in the summer, you feed after season, just to kind of know where kind of your numbers are at. And
I got a healthy flock at Jake's at the family farm. There's 6 or 7 of them running around there, and 2 toms, one less one now that got shot. But we had one show up this morning on camera, so I think Saturday morning, Jason and I will go and hopefully he gets a crack at one.
Before golf?
What time is golf?
8?
Probably not, because then, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get to
Maybe
go Saturday morning.
Sunday, depending on how Saturday goes. Yeah, we have Brandon Doms, Trophy Bucks of Iowa, put on a tournament. He's been doing this for years. We've golfed in it twice now, I believe.
Yeah, this will be third year.
Third year, yep. And so
Charity thing.
groundhog.
Cabin fever.
Cabin fever, yeah. So it's fun. Last year we golfed with one of our team members, Dylan, and his buddy. They tied one on. So
yeah, the night before.
we'll see. I'm sure Dylan will. He's a young pup, so probably do the same thing.
Yeah,
rightfully
show
so.
Up on time.
Yeah, show up on time at least. Well, we had the number 1 tee box last year, so.
Yeah, that saved us.
Was it 9 or was it 1? It was whatever was closest to the.
It was right there, and then we still let one team play through.
Yeah, so kind of pushing that into deer hunting. I'm not sure we talked about this. We might have, but one of the guys that I've met and I've talked about on the podcast all the time found a shed across from Toad Valley to the deer that I had pictures on my feeder. 1.5 2 miles away.
Okay.
He found the other side.
So it was over there. You were telling me.
Yeah, it was very bizarre, but it's literally right across the road. So that deer was traveling, and he lost. I think he lost his shed on me. I'm not sure or on the neighbors. And I've searched. I got permission. Never found that side, but I looked for that side super hard. But yeah, he lost it right across from where we park. So
that's funny.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not into the deer yet. Although I have been doing a lot of deer stuff on my farm.
Yep.
Went down there, had to fix the fence for the neighbor who rents it out to a guy that has cattle. And part of being a landowner, it wasn't bad. It could have been a lot worse.
And now you know the neighbor and you've talked to him. So
he was actually out moving dirt around when I got done. And I stopped and talked to him. He's like, "You already did it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just spent the last 5 hours doing it." He's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you told me I needed to have it done. I want to be a good neighbor."
Yep.
You
set a tone right there, and that's
so I got it done. And he's like, "Well, man, so and so is going to be so happy. Now we're going to get a bulldozer lined up, and they're trying to make a crossing in one of the ditches." And good old boy.
Yep. Having good neighbors is huge. And
they're retired. His son is active military. I think he's overseas right now and is getting out of the service like in December and moving back. So, and he's a deer hunter and stuff and whatnot. So he was like, "Oh, you guys will have to, hang out, touch base and whatever." And, was kind of like, "Oh yeah, we've deer hunted over here. We've deer hunted over there," and all that good stuff. So that was pretty cool. I talked to him for like 2 hours a couple weeks ago when I met him for the first time.
He probably, when he's thinking that some guy from Polk County bought the farm. Well, yeah, technically you're from Polk County, but you've been hunting down there since you were, 15, 16?
Yeah.
A few miles away.
Even before that, during shotgun season, I've been going down there since I was probably 13 years old, so 25 years.
Yeah, it's not just what he thought until he met you.
Right. And I get that a lot down there. You could pull up into Casey's and you have Polk County plates. And I mean, I've had people straight up like rip into me, "Stay up in your own part of it." And I'm like, my uncle is a landowner here. He has been since the 80s. I hunt on his stuff. I'm not on your.
But also, most of the people know who he is too. So you name drop him. Okay.
And that's usually what I do. It's like, "Oh, I'm Doc Richards' nephew," and they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And they all have a story.
Not just a Polk County maggot.
Exactly. And the funniest, I for not to get too far into it, but I was down there doing something, and ran into a guy. They were trying to get a car in a trailer at the Casey's parking lot, and I helped him push the car up on a car trailer. And we got to talk and said that Larry was my uncle, and he's like, he saved my daughter's life. And it was the first year he was there. My uncle was a doctor down there. His wife went into labor, and like it was bad. Like it was bad. Like they needed to get her to Des Moines, and Larry just cut her open, C-section right there, and saved the wife and the daughter's life by doing that.
Like the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck.
Yeah,
or something?
something crazy. Like
that's what happened to Jace.
Everything dropped and everything going down. This is in the 80s. You know, like just nothing was right, and then I'm like, really, you know. So it's cool little things like that.
That is cool. So after that, what are we going to talk about?
Well, I had a request from Dan.
Okay.
Wanted us to go over e-bikes.
E-bikes.
Our usage, you know, what we think about them, what the pros, cons, any of that stuff. That's one thing that when I was talking to him probably 2 weeks ago, he was like, hey, you got an e-bike, right? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, this Greg? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you guys mind doing a podcast and kind of go into a little bit of depth?
Yeah, I love that dynamic with the e-bikes and just electric vehicles in general. And I think we start that off with e-bikes versus other off-road electric. So the Tour V, you had one. Mm-hmm. You took it out to, where'd you go?
Kentucky
with it. And you did some off-roading.
Well, it was one of the old motors and the old wiring from what Chris said, and they weren't designed to pull. Yeah. Well, now they have trailers where like a lot of the Turo V stuff is for law enforcement and first responders. Yep. It's designed
and these things, if you've never, which 99% of you guys out there have never been on one.
Right.
I'm talking, it'll go up a straight incline hill where the e-bikes won't.
It does. It has way more.
It's got torque. So much torque, it'll pop a wheelie. I was doing burnouts in my garage.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Like that's one of the things you got to be careful.
It is. It's like if you were to have a wave runner on land.
Yeah,
that's the best way to describe it.
And how you can move and rotate your body. It's like a crotch rocket.
Or a wave runner if you ever drove one. Yep. Except land hurts more than the water. Right. So I still have one of my in-laws and I absolutely love it. We'll jump back into e-bikes after this, but it's got 2 trays on each side, so I strap in all the decoys. The blind's already out there. I have my camera bag with all my cameras, my 6 DS4Ks,
right,
and my tripod, and then the bog pod. I strap that on, and I zoom down there right to the blind, take stuff off, and go hide it. And it's not feasible for public use on public land,
right,
but it's feasible if you have that private land and you want to get in and out, and
you don't want to use
once you drive one. I had Dustin, one of our officers, he rode it, and I'm like, you guys need to get these. You need to talk to your boss. And
oh yeah, I mean they have all sorts of practical uses.
Yeah, the firefighters, EMS, like if you go on Tour V, type it into Facebook, it'll pop up the page. Like you said, they have some cargo trailers now. Yep. They have lights on them. They're kind of gearing more towards law enforcement and EMS. First responders, but
like the rent-a-cop sort of thing, cruising around.
But they're super fast on high speed. It's
20 something, mid-20s.
It's scary.
Yeah,
it's almost. It should gear them down. I mean, they're torquey. They're called Tour V for a reason.
There's almost no reason to go that fast.
Yeah, it's. I have it on high very seldom unless I want to do a burnout in the garage. It's mostly on low.
Yeah, if you wanted to go buzz somewhere, like even I would cruise around my neighborhood with it, and I'd leave it on low, and you'd still do.
Yeah, you can still go fast.
They're still fast, but
and they have reverse, and they have disc brakes. But so that it's the price wise, it's up there.
It is.
So if you can't afford to buy an e-bike, don't even look at these. But they're a whole other league of their own.
Yeah, I mean they have a very set thing.
Yep.
Like
and
they have a purpose.
Yep. And then so if you guys want to look them up, it's TOURVE. I believe I spelled that right.
Right.
Look them up on Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, they do a lot of posting on Instagram stuff. I see it more there than Facebook.
Make sure I'm getting this right. I might have butchered it.
But yeah, I liked mine. It got to the point I didn't need it because it wasn't working, and they wanted to rewire it. And
Okay, let me get this right. TUORE-V, electric vehicles. So there's, I don't know if you can see that. It's too much glare, but it's the EMS one.
yep. Yeah, and like they're all customized for different things, and I'm sure if somebody wanted to order them for like a fire station or a like a city wanted to order a couple for EMS,
Like crowd control or getting,
and you wanted, you got it in the budget. That's
yeah,
that's a route.
yeah,
I would go.
government money. That's right.
Yep.
They're going after the right thing. But
I already spent all my money. Here, you can use my tax money.
yeah, here's my, which we had to both pay in. Ugh, taxes.
No fun.
No fun at all. But jumping into electric or e-bikes. So we started out, I think I bought a Rambo before you end up getting one. Because the first one you had was
Your old one.
my cruiser,
Yeah.
the Midway cruiser. So I started out with a Rambo. No suspension, no front forks, no soft tail. And riding here down to my shop, like in the ditch, it would hurt your arms because it's just beating the crap out of you. It was fun on the gravel road, but once I sold that, I got the Hemingway Cruiser, and it had front forks suspension. That was game changer. You bought it from me. You customized a bow holder on it.
I put a bowl holder on the handlebars and then had a hitch designed for those Hawk.
Yeah,
trailers.
we were going. Jesse and I were kind of designing, without going into the weeds too much, the Hawk crawler cart for our e-bikes, and you did it one way and I did it the other.
Yep.
And it was kind of cool that whole scenario. But so then Trent now owns your.
Yep, I sold
Trent Carpenter.
all of it to Trent.
Yep.
He used, from what I know, he used it quite a bit.
You probably use it more than both of us combined.
It's one of those things that, like my uncle's would be the perfect time to use it. Well, there's fire trails everywhere. I can drive my truck down.
Yep. And then just walk.
Drive my truck.
But if you're on public or you have a really long
I
walk,
did use it multiple times to get to a couple stands in the back in the mornings.
Yep.
Like, you know what? I can just park, pull it out of my truck, throw everything on there, and buzz down.
Did you use the bow holder?
Yep.
Okay. See, I started using that, and then mine are too short on the handlebars. You need to get risers, otherwise they hit your arms.
Mine wasn't perfect. It was like I had to cut the grips off and put them on the ends. It was very custom.
Yeah.
But now, so I sold that to Trent, and then I bought another brand, and I got it set up on the back and put my bow in it, and it works even better.
Okay. So you sold to him, and then you end up getting what brand did you get?
It's a Derwin.
Derwin. And
So-
it's basically the same.
Yeah.
Similar.
I mean, most of these, besides like your big high-end Quiet Cat stuff, are very similar.
Yeah. There's the Alibaba type of thing. That's that. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, they're overseas. They ship you in high quantities. You put your name on them, sell them.
Yep.
You got that. You like it?
I do. I wish I used it more. I need to. My one negative of an e-bike for me is transportation, is getting it from point A to point B to use it.
Yeah. So I have that bike rack hauler.
I have
200
one
pound.
too.
You have yours straps in way different than mine.
So originally the one I sold to Trent, it's tires. It's like almost like for a dirt bike.
Dirt bike. Yep.
Yep. And now I had that system set up great, no issues. And then I purchased a hitch mounted system that comes up, but with my e-bike, the bar that goes in the middle is at such an angle. My whole bike, instead of if this was
it's
flush,
not parallel.
it sits like
yeah.
this.
So it's hard to.
So either your back tire is 4 feet up in the
Mm-hmm.
air, or your handlebars are.
And some people out there listening to this are like, well, why don't you throw it in the back of your truck? Well, they're 100 pounds.
They're not light, and I could, but I have so much crap in the back of my truck.
And it's hard when you lay them up there. You throw them up there, and when you lay them down, like it's just a pain.
You just lay it
scratch
down.
the crap out of a $3,000 bike or $1,000, whatever they are.
Yeah, and I mean, like the one I have, I think you can get around $1,500.
Yep.
So they're not super expensive, but they're not cheap.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's a $200 mountain bike.
So yours is nice. Mine is not the,
Yours is better than mine.
Mine's got the soft tail suspension, and it's a Hemingway Cobra. They make a Cobra Pro, I think, and they make it all-wheel drive. I was talking, when someone asked me, what should I buy? And I'm not sponsored by them, whatever, at all. I tell them, go to Kaufman Outdoors and talk to these guys.
Right.
And we had a beef. We crushed the beef. They're great dudes. I've sold, I don't know how many bikes for them, but they make an all-wheel drive Hemingway. I think it might be the Cobra Pro. I'm not sure, but it might go up those steep inclines, like where this has problem going up a steep incline, like this road down here. But it's great. I don't have I think your bike on the back of it has a rack.
It's a flat.
Yeah. So you can add some cargo to it.
Yeah. Yep. Strap something down to it.
Mine doesn't have that.
Okay.
I think there's Kaufman Outdoors.
I was looking at it.
Oh, okay. Kaufman Outdoors built something like that for a rack for the back. I don't know. I'm all about looks. You know that. And the rack's kind of ugly in my opinion. So that's what I got right there. It's got an LED light up front. I think they're Rhino grips for the bow rack. It's more of a gun rack.
Right.
Because the bow sits in there so weird.
And that's the thing. Each bow's different. How the riser sits, where your sight goes, where your stabilizer is.
Yeah, and I got something for that, though. And we'll try to get you one of these. They're called alt angles.
Yeah.
It's what I have in the back of the side-by-side. It's these clamps. And I'm pimping another product, they actually did send me one, but it's sweet. It clamps on anything. And you can put your bow on, clamp it to your riser, put it on the back of your e-bike, put it on your handles, and it extends. So you could put it on your e-bike and extend it like 6 or 7 inches.
Nice.
So, but yeah, so e-bikes are great for public lands. You need to make sure legality wise, and these are state and county, that you can ride these e-bikes. And if you look up the law, the ordinance, they can't be over 750 watts.
Right.
So if you get that 1,000 watt and it says 1,000 watt on there, and yeah, sure, maybe you can disconnect the battery and utilize that, but you might get a ticket from an officer. So
right. And it's one of those things. There's probably more things for them to worry about. If you're a respectful person, they're probably not.
Yeah, if you're not,
they may say, "Hey, here's the law,"
But there's not a lot of guys that are spending $5,000, $6,000 on a Quiet Cat at 1,000 or a Rambo or whatever,
right?
And hunting public. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, there's more ways to spend your money.
Yeah, those guys are buying $100 kayaks that are hunting public and floating down the river and getting into their stand that way, sitting in a tree saddle.
Yep.
But yeah, so e-bikes are nice. I know one thing, was it Corey or Cody Bisher? They had problems. They ended up buying, I think, from Kaufman Outdoors. They bought a Hemingway Cobra like mine, and they used it way more than I did. And they had puncture through the tires, like
right,
Locust or whatever.
Yep.
So then they bought, I don't know, it's some kind of armor. It's tire armor that goes inside your tire, and it allows, you can't go flat on it.
Okay.
And so I'm like, oh, I never need that. And after the first time I used it 2 years ago, I had a flat tire. So I went and I ended up buying that.
Yeah, I put tire goo or whatever in mine.
The green stuff.
The green stuff. My last one I did because I was shed hunting and blew a tire. But my one now I have I don't know. I had to go to the bike shop and have stuff done to it, and they put clear. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'd say if you're gonna add anything, the first thing to do is either that stuff or the armor, tire armor.
Right.
Yeah, so I have a different, maybe similar bike rack for the back because, like I said, I don't like hoisting it up in the back of my truck. The only negative with those cargo racks in the back is driving down a gravel road. Like, they just get beat
It's
up.
going to get dusty.
Yep.
It just is.
Not just dusty, but rocks will fly and hit it. And other than that, yeah, I mean, it gets you in pretty quick. The deer, that dynamic with the deer looking at you when you're flying through, they have no idea what you are. They're kind of confused because it's just you're gone.
Yep, they may trot off, but they're not.
They have no idea what you are.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's a key element to get in the stand. I think that's overlooked a lot. Deer can hear really well, and if they hear you on an e-bike and you're gone, they have no idea.
Right. It may confuse them, and they may be like, "What was that?"
Yep.
But it's not. That was a person, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like,
And you're not walking in with that scent on your boots.
Yep.
Another thing is, I would highly recommend buying a helmet. I don't use it as much as I should, but I always resort back to our friend, Todd. I mean, he was on a ATV, but still, you could fall off a e-bike or almost run over a skunk, and you could have damage to your brain. If you're wearing a helmet, I have a helmet that's got lights on it up front so you can see. But if you're going to use it a lot, use a helmet. And I when I shot Hail Mary, I had a helmet on. I mean, before I shot him, I rode in on that, wore my helmet. There's been times where I'm driving in and I see a skunk and I'm going fast, about wreck or run over a skunk. Yeah. So safety first. That's a huge factor. So other than that, I mean, that's kind of e-bikes in a nutshell.
Yeah. You can get very specific and get deep down into them. As much as you want when you start.
And you can pay for what?
Oh yeah, I mean it's just like a truck. Like you can just buy a truck that'll do everything you want it to do, and then you start. Well, I want this and I want that and I want this. It all adds up. So it's one of those whatever you can justify for what you're going to use it for, and then is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yep. I paid full price for that. The one before I did not, and then the Derwin you got. So
yeah,
I would highly recommend if you're going to spend the money. I think these are $2,300. Yours are a little cheaper.
Yeah, and I think Derwin has.
They'd have that model.
I think they have some sort of with the.
If you're just getting into it and you don't know if you like it, I would go with that model.
You need some sort of suspension, at least the front fork suspension.
Yep, and you can adjust these forks too, and I don't think the soft tail you can adjust. You might be able to, but
the Sophie has been riding mine. Her sister will be 10, and she's got an electric scooter and buzzes around the neighborhood. Well, she wanted to go do something the other day, and I was like, just ride my bike. What? And she's almost 13. She'll be 13 in July. And I was like, just take the e-bike. And so I lowered the seat all the way down for her, and I had to give her the rundown, like, hey, this is this, this is this, It's
you
a
have
throttle.
A thumb?
It's a throttle.
Okay.
So it's a throttle. And I'm like, you don't have to run it. If you push this button, it's just a bike. But the biggest thing is when you stop, it's heavy. So, when you go to get off, you have to jump down, put your feet down, no issues. And she's used that almost daily. I'll just look outside and it's gone.
That's cool.
And so she's getting more. She's probably almost ridden it more.
How many miles you got on it?
Less than 10.
I'm gonna say I'd probably have maybe 30, maybe.
I don't use mine near as much as I thought, and it's not it's not for lack of wanting to use it. It's just I can get everywhere I want with my truck.
Yeah, and as far as the family goes, you live right next to a bike trail. You could easily jump on the bike trail and zoom down and let them pedal.
But then I watch the people buzz by there doing 25 miles an hour on e-bikes, and I'm like, I would hate that. If I was a cyclist and I despise everything cycling, despise it.
If you're a cyclist, you'd probably be riding on the road.
Oh, my God.
That's another topic for another day.
Let's just not, because we will.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole that we don't have time for.
Out of the 64 people that listen to this, we're going to piss off a
If there's any cyclists that ride on the road, please use the bike trails.
Yeah.
End of story.
I pay for it, so you might as well.
So e-bikes are a great tool. I kind of want to grab that alt angle and kind of show you. I want to get you one.
Yeah,
they're neat. They move and they adjust. You put them on your four-wheeler. If you have a rake you want to go, or you can you could clamp this beer down if you wanted to. So
yeah, no, I'm always up for things that are just a little outside the box.
Yeah,
things that make your life easier.
These were designed for bikes, and not e-bikes. I don't know that you could actually hold a 100-pound bike up from their wall mount, but it'll hold. Like I have it in the back of my Ranger now with clamp to a drip torch.
Okay. Yep.
So, yep, there's a lot of uses, and I mean, even like your day-to-day work, you could, if you needed something, another hand to hold something or a hose, you had to go up over something. So,
oh yeah, I'm sure it's one of those things you don't realize how much you would use it unless you had it.
yep, that's the thing. I've seen it. I'm like, I'm gonna message these guys and see if I can get one.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you've showed me a couple things, and it's popped up on like my Instagram and stuff, and all that. So it's pretty neat. So
Yeah, it is. It is cool.
I definitely think it's like the perfect. Throw it in your truck. Be like, oh yeah, I need this.
Yeah, and I envisioned like the e-bike having those Rhino grips not working, but this is basically rising up above and clamp my bow on, and it's up here and it's clamped secure and it's not going to come undone. So,
Okay. Yeah.
or you could even go to the back of your seat. Yours would be different because you have that rack, but I could go to the peg of the seat, clamp it on, and have the bow hanging out back
Okay.
on
Yep.
the e-bike.
Yep.
So
Just shoot it out back or
Yep.
have it hanging sideways.
yeah, I'll message the guys. They're really, really cool guys.
Yeah, I circle back to, I mean, that's about all for e-bikes, but we still have turkey season left. I don't know how many birds that we have had killed. It's been a lot. Some youth hunters, some new team members have been knocking out of the park. John Frank.
I've been seeing emails sent to you on WeTransfer almost daily.
Yeah, John Frank, who used to film with juries back in the day. We have a mutual friend with Mitch Sherman from Cedar Rapids that's on the team, and he reached out and was like, hey, my kids are getting old enough. You know, I'd love to do it again, but I don't want to deal with all the BS, basically. Mm-hmm. And Mitch is like, dude, because Mitch was like that too.
Yeah.
Like Mitch did not want pressure, did not want to deal with, you have to do this, have to do that. And I'm like, dude, we're perfect.
We are.
Like we are very low key about all of it. And
it's kind of full circle because my uncle kind of knew John, and I kind of looked up to him watching the videos.
Right.
And well, burning the DVDs that you gave me.
Right.
And watching the videos. And he was always the dude on the Harley. Mm-hmm. And his tattoo artist is actually who I got my tattoo done.
Right. Yep.
From it. So it was kind of neat. But yeah, he's on the team now, and we got some other team members that joined. Mitch Johnson, he's a turkey slayer. I mean, we got 3 guys that are just turkey nuts.
Right.
And
I love turkey hunting, but I'm very time of the year oriented.
yeah,
I kind of go all in whatever it is.
I'm ready to go all in on catfish and see you later turkeys.
We could get some rain.
Yeah, the Big River looks okay.
I might need to, maybe next week I'll get the bait tank cleaned up. And
You see, I pulled the boat out.
I did see that.
Jace wants me to take the cover off, but I thought I'd wait until we get all this rain out of the forecast.
Yeah.
Power wash and get it ready.
Yeah, I was trying to think, we caught one big fish last year, and it was our first run, and it was early.
Well, we caught 2. We almost got 3. We got 1 early. We caught 1 the last run, and then in between we had one on the last pull. And
I thought that was the last run.
No, we did one after that because we've caught 2 fish last year. We usually catch like 100.
2 flatheads. The first run we ran and caught like a 40-pounder and like 5 channels.
Yep.
And then
we caught like a 15 or 20.
Okay.
And then we had that one get off.
Right. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, we usually catch between, I would say, 60 to 100 fish.
Right.
Flatheads. When we go. When we used to go a lot more with the other boat, but
and I love it. It's so much. It's like trapping.
It is.
And that's why I think that's why I enjoy it so much. It's like trapping.
And then so we I don't know how many years we caught just like 40, 40, 40. Then we catch a random 50. And then we went and caught the 70-pounder.
Was that 2 years ago already? Be 3 years? No, it wasn't last year. It was the year before that.
It was 22.
22. So not
That's when
23
Jen got her
last.
transplant. Yeah. Yeah, because I was in the hospital for getting her transplant, and someone from the news was trying to call me, and I said, "Hey, you're going to have to call Jesse." And
Okay.
so that's when they interviewed you.
Okay.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
Can you imagine catching her now? That fish.
We need to try to go with pre-spawn.
Pre-spawn feeder creeks. That was the ticket.
God, I need to stay oriented on the turkeys,
Turkeys,
right now because
yeah,
I will, as soon as I check out, I will be.
I mean, you get your daughters a turkey or two, and you shoot one more, and it's
like I said, I'm going to Wisconsin in mid-May with Mitch to go with Austin, like the 15th of May. My birthday's the 17th. I think we come back like the 19th or something like that. So after that, I'm going to be all in.
yeah. Then we'll get ready.
Yeah. I'll get the bait tank figured out before.
Do you have all the poles?
No, you do.
Oh, I do.
I think they're
In the boat.
they're probably in the boat.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a bunch of them, but
You have to go sharpen up the hooks and clean them up.
Should be good. They didn't get too much water on them last year, so
True.
they I missed it, but just life happens and all that. The nice thing is we can leave the boat halfway, and then we just have to go and hook up to it, run it to the boat ramp, and I don't miss camping
Yeah, either do I.
at all.
It was fun when we went. When we had like 7 boats out there.
Yeah, it'd be fun to do one time, but at the same time,
I like
love
my
going
bed.
home. I love going home.
The fact that like, I'm gonna get some good sleep, and then I get to wake up and go check lines. Like that's the only thing I dislike is it's just us two. We can't take anybody else. We
Yeah.
can't go 50 miles, 40 miles an hour down the river and upriver with 7 people. But there comes a money factor. If anybody wants to buy us a boat, we know what we want. Not this $9,000 2-person flat bottom. But it gets the job done. We can still go. And it's paid for.
Right.
So
all we have to pay for is some oil, some fuel, and the licensing on it, and that's it.
That Sea Arc was a great boat, the Predator.
Yeah.
We downsized it a lot, so.
Yeah, and we looked, but, I mean, at the same time, even if we wanted to upgrade, like, we could sell this, upgrade a little bit, but.
My boat's more now than it was brand new when I bought it.
Really?
That's how crazy the market is.
That is crazy.
I'm talking like $5,000 more.
After all the use.
After all the use, so
and all
we
the
put
years.
through it, and we beat the crap out of it.
Isn't
that bizarre? That's our economy and our market right now. And a brand new boat is almost 70, 65.
Oh wow,
it's almost double.
Yeah, so yours was 40, wasn't it?
37.
So almost 40.
So yeah. And that was years ago. But
wow.
Yeah, we'll continue to run our little John boat, and
yeah, if we ever got back into it and the rivers went up again and we were like, dude, we need to keep on after this. Yeah, but I mean, out of all of our friend groups, out of all the people we know that catfish, run lines, run rod and reel, we still have the biggest fish.
we do, and that's the one thing.
And we caught it with the little boat.
That's right. We caught it with the little tiny boat, and we still have the biggest fish. Besides, like the guys that are catching blue cats, like Spencer.
Besides guys going to the big
River
rivers.
Certified doesn't count.
Yeah. Besides going to the big lakes and big rivers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Nope.
We've got invited to go to with a couple of guys that are our friends down to Missouri.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be fun. I'd like to do it.
He's invited us every year. It's always like we always got something going on. I'm gonna say it's like Dove opener or something. He goes late.
Oh, okay. Yeah. At that point, I've checked out.
Yeah.
That's the thing I said earlier. Once I hit a certain time frame, I'm out.
Yep.
Like
it's
I've
done.
crossed.
Yep. Season's
you
over.
Start getting big deer on trail camera and they're full velvet. You're like, yep, I'm out. Let's
Time to golf and
deer.
be ready for deer season.
We'll just transfer right into deer and just so focused on that. And that's how I work. Is I go all in. I'm all turkey right now. We'll get going in another month. It'll be completely different, and it'll be fishing. And like I haven't even crappie fished in the last 3 years.
Yeah. Probably should change that up. We probably should take the boat to our spot. We've talked about that last podcast, I think. But
yeah, I
And
need,
we
I need
could-
to go get minnows. That's why like I'm.
you
gonna
should
get
just
the
take
bait.
it home and get it ready and call me and we'll go out.
No,
This is another thing you need on your plate.
right. I don't need any.
If you had the yard space.
Yeah, my 4-wheeler just hangs out in the side of my yard, so I don't have any room anywhere. And my cleaning stuff's been going good, so I can't even take the third stall. I pull my van out every other day to go clean carpets, so which is a good thing.
That is good.
And I can pay for things.
Gotta pay for
and my
things.
wife doesn't hate me
Yeah.
as much.
As long as you're making money.
Yep. So it's like I said, I'm ready. I still need to scratch a little turkey itch, but I've been pounding out videos. I did 3 videos today.
You did a mushroom one?
Did a mushroom one, a little bit different, but yeah, did a mushroom one, 2 turkey ones. It's Sean Thompson's. What day is it? Is it Wednesday?
Yep.
So it went live Wednesday. It's already up. Both of Mitch Sherman's Iowa birds, the mushroom one, and then I have my bow kill, Cassie's second season kill. And there's like 4 or 5 other birds. I talked to Colton Vest. He pre-edits a lot of his stuff and then sends it to me like 90% done. And
That's
then
good.
I
Sean's is the latest one you have on the channel.
Yep.
You just uploaded that 3 hours ago.
Yep.
Podcast. Your bird, Mitch.
And Mitch's. And yeah, mine from
Turkey tour.
Yep, some last year stuff.
So how many turkey hunts do you have to do like total right now?
Still?
Like from this year
Um
that have been sent to you?
I probably have 3 or 4 more to do. Well, all of John Frank. So John Frank's bow bird, his daughter's bird, and then he took his boss's son out, I believe. So there's 3 right
Dude's
there
a killer.
that I'll probably do all in one big video. But yeah, it's
Here's those sheds. I don't know if you guys can see it on YouTube, but I matched up a pretty good set.
is that 3 years?
It's 3 years ago I found that, which would have been a year old laying out there.
That's crazy.
He's
Not even shoot up.
probably 160, straight 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, high 50s, probably 160. Those are good brows, good mass. Yeah, he's right there. Good deer. Wonder whatever happened to him.
Yeah, I wonder. Well,
Sweet.
we appreciate everyone listening. If you have any questions on e-bikes, turkey hunting, ask someone else other than me.
Yeah, ask the page. I'll look at it.
Yeah, we hope you guys can get out and enjoy the great outdoors. And
Yep, we love hearing the success stories. My Instagram, I've had a couple guys that like have been messaging me, and we talk about a deer all the time.
yeah,
And I've had 2 or 3 guys that have killed birds. One guy killed back-to-back days in
nice.
Kansas, Kentucky. I feel bad. I don't remember what state, but they kind of run together sometimes.
Yeah, that's cool. I love talking to people that actually listen to this.
Right.
And I've had Sam, shout out to Sam, every podcast because he listens. He's probably our number 1 listener. Yeah, it's cool to hear, there's 300 people that maybe watch it on YouTube, and then Outdoor Dan radio. I'd butcher this every time.
Outdoor Call Radio app.
Outdoor Call Radio app. So yeah, Dan's a good dude, and we appreciate everyone listening, and hopefully we can get outdoors and find some morels, shoot some turkeys, catch some crappie, maybe a walleye.
Fry it up. I'm ready.
All be over.
I
The hot tub's still going?
Yep.
My back hurts.
I do it every year.
All right.
Usually, if I can't find mushrooms, I try to get some fish. Usually, it's after our first run. If we catch like a smaller flathead, like, yeah, we should probably cut this one.
Yeah.
And then I have so many turkey breasts in my freezer. Like the only time I ever eat them is if I cube them up and deep fry them.
Try that Austin's recipe.
Nah, too much work.
I know.
That,
But yeah, if you want to fry up some morels, or turkey and crappie or catfish, I will be over. Just let me know. Maybe we can like take this and do it at your house, in your basement, in your man cave.
maybe.
We just need that. I mean, we don't need these
True.
and that guy.
Right. Yeah, we could.
Just saying.
Go
We're
on
coming
the-
over, Jenny.
Go on the road with it. So perfect.
Check you later.